And good evening. As we track the weather for you this afternoon, I'm Scotty Ray. Greg is joining us in the studio this afternoon as we follow this. Now, let me ask this, Greg. You were just out on Highway 45 bypass.
Yeah, it is. What we're experiencing now is the wind gust, and they're causing some power lines to break, slap together, fall down, whatever, and they're causing some brush fires, woods fires. And I encourage anybody that's out in this, if you're fighting that fire, don't get hurt doing it.
Right.
If you'll give it a minute, I promise you the good Lord's going to put it out.
Now, this picture that we're looking at, where is this and what is it facing?
That's right south of the Marion exit on 45 northbound lane.
Okay, and that's kind of like the bypass where you go through Marion. Right. All right, and let us show you where this is stemming from. Let me close this. We've got a big fire that is near the Mississippi Highway Patrol office. Let me get that picture here. This is directly across from there.
Correct.
And this is what is causing all that smoke to block the highway. Now, they did have it shut down a little bit ago, Greg, and from what I'm understanding, they're letting traffic roll through there now. It's still thick. Be careful. Now, I can't count the many fires that we have right now. Let's look at this.
And they're all over. I mean, there's not one area of the county, Toomsuba, Russell, all over Clarkdale, south, southeast. Everybody seems to be on some type of brush fire, woods fire. And I don't know that all of them are, but the majority that I've heard, is power related.
Let's look at this. We've got an accident right here. This is Highway 11 as you're going to the Bama state line. This little road, let me get it here, Greg, right here. This is Larkin Road. We have a car that has struck power lines, and the power lines, I think, are on top of the car at this time. And this is causing a huge traffic delay here on Highway 11. That's near, what is that, Johnson Road East?
Yeah.
So that area there.
That's very close to Alabama line.
Yeah, so y'all watch that. Now, let's talk about what the National Weather Service has for us right now. Let's go to radar, and let me show you. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued right to the west of us as we pull up Doc's Toyota radar. As you'll see, Newton County right here. Let's turn off radar where we can show you where this is. If you'll look at this gold line here, this takes in Forest and portions there of Attala County, and also we're going to get into the Leake County area. As we look at this, and let's read this, what they've got for us. This is going to be expiring somewhere around 4:30 this afternoon, so we've got about 27 minutes remaining on it. Severe thunderstorm located along a line extending from Edinburgh to near White Oak, moving east about 30 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour gust with this. Now, as I'm talking about this, you've experienced this outside. What are we seeing outside right now?
It's very gusty. I can assure you, if you got something and it wasn't tied down, it's blown all around the yard. Garbage cans, stuff like that. Just be careful. Again, it doesn't have to be a tree. Any kind of projectile in this wind,
right?
It can get tough. And if you are on the road, I know we're getting close to that time where people are going to be getting off work and going home. Pay attention to what's going on and watch everybody around you. Drive slow. Please drive slow and be careful. Get home safely.
Now, if you'll notice, we're seeing a lot more lightning strikes with this storm than we normally do. It is covered here. Now, Decatur, let's start there and look at this. Decatur is pouring rain, but heavier right now just south of you down 15 there in downtown Newton, back over to the county line at Forest. Now, when you get into Forest, this is where that severe thunderstorm warning is, and it's really bad at Morton right now, moving to the northeast, and that's going to move through Walnut Grove and over through Newton and then through Union here in just a little bit. Now, we know it's raining in Union and Decatur. This is that two-lane highway that we travel a lot. As we look right there, at 3:51, we had a lightning strike. That was a little over 10 minutes ago. We look here in Lauderdale County at 3:59, we had a lightning strike. 3:55, Kemper County at 4:04. That happened just now. As you look at this all around, this is Highway 39 here, and we're getting lightning strikes left and right there. And if you see these in yellow, this is where it is actually struck and hit something on the ground. It's not in the air. It actually hit something. So we've got it everywhere. And this also causes little fires as well, as we know.
That's right.
Now, let's put this in motion and show you how the storm is playing out.
It's moving quick.
It is. Now, I don't want to tell you that this storm is going to be over in no time flat. It is moving faster than everyone thought in the beginning. We will say that. We're expecting this thing, a little after 7 to be out of here?
Yeah. I'd say by 8 o'clock, we're going to be in the clear, but probably 7:15, 7:30, just a guess.
Now, as we get into the East Mississippi side of this, we have not gotten warnings yet. Scott County is the closest that we've got at this point. Neshoba County has not gotten anything like this. We do have one tornado warning that we wanted to put out, and we're watching this right here. Let's go here back to radar and look at this tornado warning that we have here. This is just to the southeast of Monticello, Progress, Mississippi right now, as we'll look at this. And this is until 5 o'clock. Tornado warning for Marion County, Lawrence County, and Jefferson Davis County, and that's going to be until 5 o'clock. Just about 2 minutes ago, radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It was located over Jays, or about 14 miles south of Monticello, moving east at 40 miles an hour. As you look at this is going to be near Robinwood around 410, Arm and Oak Valve Road, 415, Progress and Bunker Hill by 430. Brassville, you'll see the storm by about 435 is when we're expecting it to move through there. So it's going to be very heavy, and this is a tornado warning. And let's look at how this moves as we see this. Here's Collins, Mississippi, and as you'll see, this is moving to the northeast. If it were to stay on track, it would go through that Clark County and then eventually into Lauderdale County. Right. But again, it's a weak storm. It's just starting its way there. As we look at this will be near New Hebron. If you're in that area, you need to seek shelter at this point. Anywhere around some or all these areas here north of Columbia, Collins, Mississippi, Prentiss, Brassville, you need to be in your shelter now, as this is a tornado warning. It's not a watch, it is a warning. Now, with that being said, as you'll notice, all of this yellow background back here, Greg, this is a tornado watch through 7 p.m.
Right.
For basically all of this area here in East Mississippi.
Yeah, and they need to be, just because you're not currently in it, but people like in Bay Springs and in that area, you need to keep an eye on this. Heidelberg, Bay Springs, let's see what develops out of this. I mean, we're hoping it's going to weaken up, but you don't never know.
Right here, as we look at this tornado warning right now, this started out as a very weak tornado warning down here. It was very small, and it has moved northeasterly up north of here now, and it's bigger. It's growing as it comes about. We don't have any reports of this being on the ground. Let me check with the National Weather Service and see if they've updated anything. That's the same warning that we've got. Let's see if there's any. Let's see. As we look at Jefferson Davis County, they got some trees across North Lawrence Road. In Hines County, Hines Boulevard in Raymond, there's a tree down blocking the road there. Nothing major yet, but we do have starting to see these trees. And if you've got them where you are on your travels headed home, please let us know about that, where we can pass this along to everyone else. We're also now getting a tree down on Highway 496.
Right.
I'm going to have to make some adjustments here, and we're going to pin where we are to the top where everybody can get to us. Let me do some changes here. Manage.
Yeah, that wind has been something else this afternoon. I know out 496, I think they had a fire come out on Liberty Church Road a few minutes ago, and it's been tough. Again, slow down, because you don't ever know. Around that curve, there could be a tree, there could be a power pole, anything in the road. So again, I urge you, as people start getting off work and they're headed home, take your time, be careful.
Yeah, I'm going to put this up here, and I'll have it in just a second here of Highway 496. I want y'all to see this as well as we get these pictures in from across the county. And I think we should have this in just a split second, Greg. It's loading up. All right, let me refresh where everybody will be able to see what you and I are looking at. Needs to be faster, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is Highway 496. Now that's not bad,
no.
But if you've got a small car, that's going to do some damage to it.
Yeah. If you're not paying attention, you come around a curve and you run over that, you're going to do some damage, or you're going to snatch the wheel and end up in those trees over in the woods,
and would create a bigger problem.
That's right. And also remember, anytime if there are power lines down, do not approach them. Assume they are hot. You got to know that you know that you know. Power lines don't play.
Now, as you bring up power lines, let's go ahead and address this. I just got a message here just a second ago of saying that power was out on Valley Road. Let's dig into this and look and show everybody where we're showing that power is out this afternoon. As we go to EMEPA, we got this kind of scattered about as we pull this up. North of Meridian, let's just look here what we've got here. Just shy of DeKalb, we got about 16 people out of power there. Back over west of DeKalb on Highway 16 around Moscow, about 13. And it's kind of scattered through the Nellyburg area, about 9, 5 in Collinsville. They're working on those. But we get into these larger numbers south of Meridian. Let me back this out where we can show you here. As you get out near Wynot, we've got a lot of rain out there. Greg, I'm going to take this call if you'll kind of monitor that.
All right. Well, we'll be looking and seeing what else is going on. They are out working as fast and as safely as they can to get this power back on. But you also got to remember, we got to let some of these storms pass through. We don't want anybody out in the wind and the rain. So they're doing the best they can to get it back on as quick as they can. I can assure you they want your power back on just as fast as you do. But it seems to be moving generally in our direction, all this line of storms, but it should be out of here. We're hoping by 7:30. It's just going to be a tough couple of hours, but please be careful when you're traveling. Get home safely. That's the main thing.
What I was doing there was double checking there to make sure about that area in Marion, and it is starting to look better. There was a power line that failed and started that fire.
And when the rain got there, the fire went away.
Right. Were we talking about? Did you point this out here where we've had all this going on down Highway 19?
No.
Why not 39 right here on this side of and then south of that, out past Ricky Bobby's, as you'll look at this, we got about 80 people here. And that's going to be near Shannon Road. About 80 people without power there. And exactly, that's going to be on Harv Chatham Road is where that is. J.W. Reynolds Road. Right along in there without power. Let me close that. That makes it a little bit better. We got another 15 people, 17 people down in this area south of there. That's going to be right off 514 as you get into Clark County. So the power outage is starting to mound up. We got 122 right around Stonewall, as you'll look there. That's going to be at the intersection of 514 and 45.
Right.
So it's widespread as we let's look at Mississippi Power. Let's see what they've got going on with the power outages this afternoon as we update this. A few popping up, but that's not huge. As you get into the Meridian area, is scattered. That is the most that we're showing right there. 79 people are out. Estimated be back on for about an hour, by 5:15. And as we zoom in on this is north of Bonita Lakes. This is going to be near Oak Grove Drive, Bonita Drive, right along in there.
Right, in there off of Scruggs Road in that area.
Yeah, not far from Sam's in that area. So that's what we've got in power, the power outages at this point. Let's go back to radar as we watch this. Now, again, I want to remind you, we do not have any warnings for Lauderdale County, anything here. The closest we've got is going to be Scott County, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30. We've got about 16 minutes left on that, Greg.
Right.
But the lightning and the intensity is picking up here in the Lauderdale County area. Now, again, no warnings. We're kind of recapping this, and it'll be a little bit. We'll come back, and we'll have some more weather to report on all this. What we wanted to do right now was just kind of update everyone of what we have when it comes to the power outages and the roads that are happening to that.
Right. They're very slick.
Yeah. Now, I had someone ask about Noxapater as you go up through here. Right now, if you're in Noxapater, here it sits. It's just west of you. This is a straight line. This is Highway 25. Let me turn on locations here, what we've got. Here's the Dollar General there in Noxapater. This is going to be the J&S food store there on Highway 25.
It's right there close on it.
Ooh, yeah. Lake Teocata sits right here, and there's downtown Louisville, and this storm is just making its way straight over Shiloh Baptist Church now, and again moving to the northeast, and that's going to be affecting here at Noxapater before long. As we get into Neshoba County, let's take a look here. If you're in the northwest corner, especially here's Edinburgh. right there at that intersection. You've been through there many times.
Oh, yeah.
Pouring rain. You can probably hardly see the Dollar General right there. As we come up through here, all of this area on the west side out Highway 16, look at the rain. Here's Pearl River Resort. After you get about a half a mile, Greg, past that Pearl River Resort, it's going to be treacherous as you move all the way toward Edinburgh. Now, as we move south here, up here at Marshall Ford, look at that, Highway 21, those areas there. Docks, Toyota, it's raining. But just as you get, again, out to Pearl Rivers where it's really going to get the rain. Some moderate showers moving into the downtown area. 15 North Burnside, okay right now. As you get out here around Arlington, it's starting to rain. Just north of Arlington, northwest of there, it's going to get worse on 19 in those areas. As we move down, look at this as we look at this area right here. As we move out of Leak, right there at Rosebud Quick Stop, pouring over at Walnut Grove at the prison. Not a great place to be at this second. Now, as we come down, let's look at what's happening in Scott County. Now, as you see, Newton County, you got showers all around it. You got lightning popping, but the worst of the storm has not reached you yet.
No, it's approaching Forest.
Yeah, and this is if you're going to Jackson, now I want y'all to visualize this. If you're going to Jackson, that last chance to go to the restroom as you pull into the Welcome Center, what, about 30 miles outside of Jackson? That's where that bad stuff is right now. And it's in between the two rest areas back over to Forest. If you're traveling 20, it's going to be pretty rough there for a little while. Let's turn off the locations there for a minute to give you a bird's eye view. Not really a lot happening in Lauderdale County other than these high winds, and it is high right now.
Oh, yeah. But places like Carthage, Pelahatchie, y'all are getting close to being in the clear.
Yeah, that is better.
Move through there, Florence, Jackson, city of Jackson. You may still be having some rain showers, but I think the worst has left you.
Now, this is what we're concerned about right along in here. All of this is what will make its way here. So what happens here could be a repeat here in just a little while for us. Now, again, we're banking somewhere around 5:45, in that a little over an hour or so from now, it's starting to move into the Lauderdale County area. And it will be jumping and hopping for a little bit there, but we expect it to be, what time did you give it, 8 or 7?
7:30, 8 o'clock, it should be out of here completely.
That is some of the best news that we can give you.
Absolutely.
Let's check messages. That was showing us some of these power outages somebody sent here.
Somebody said they got some damage at Little Rock to a roof already.
Let's see. How about Bessadia? Let's just take a look at Bessadia as you go. It's not a lot happening in Bessadia right now. As you'll look at this area here along 19, this is coming out of Lauderdale County here.
Yeah.
And Bessadia is here's Tucker. It's going to be about right there. That's that straightaway, the only place that you can pass on Highway 19. Yeah. This is 492. Coming into House, and then this is that straightaway where Bessadia is. Right now, not much happening there. A little rain up at Tucker, and as you get in, again, to the city limits of Philadelphia. But it is coming your way.
It's coming, yeah. If you ain't gathered the eggs, you better get after it.
Ain't nothing worse than getting wet doing that, is it? We've all been there at some point. I can hear outside, still daylight as we do this. And again, we want to remind you of that accident that we've got way out here on Highway 11 and 80. At this point in time, that's the only wreck that we know of, Highway 11 and 80. A car is entangled in some power lines. They are trying to get that cleared up. Mississippi Highway Patrol is on the scene. As a matter of fact, they've been traveling this area around Marion there, where that power line fell and sparked near a home and caught some grass on fire. So it's not we have not reached the worst of what's coming.
No.
Let me see here. Let me do a little gauge here and tell you what I'm seeing.
I want to see how fast you think this is moving.
All right, as we come across here, we're going to start getting heavy rain right at 6 in Newton. So it's going to be pretty rough in Newton around 6, and then it comes into Lauderdale County there around 6:30. It moves across, being over that western side there to the airport back to Newton around 6:45. Dead over Meridian there through 7:15, and moves out of the county about, what is that, about 8:15?
Yeah.
We should have it out of here. Now, all of that can change due to
Oh
wind.
yeah, it can slow down. It can speed up. We like to hope that it weakens normally when it cools off. The temperature drops. That it'll get on out of here.
So that's what we're looking at the moment as we get ahead of the storm. Let me see if we've got any more messages here from anyone. Nothing new there, but a lot of power outages in between Newton and Jackson. Now, as a matter of fact, I can probably pull this up. Southern Pine.
Somebody just said got an 18-wheeler flipped over at the 157 westbound.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Al. Appreciate that. Let's see.
157 is in Meridian, isn't it?
Let's see. Getting 167 here westbound.
All right.
May have been a keystroke.
Yeah.
Yeah. 160. It flipped on its. Okay.
That's going to be Tumsuba.
Yes.
Around the Welcome Center, I think 165, 167, Tumsuba, Kiwani area.
Yeah, that's exactly where that is. All right, we're getting this from the sheriff of Clark County.
Highway 513, south of Stonewall. Tree on a car, but no injuries. Thank you, sweet Jesus. No injuries.
Again, Sheriff Anthony Chancellor taking care of this. Also, we have trees down on County Road 511, and what is that, 6, what's that?
630.
All right, coming in from Clark County. Again, Sheriff Anthony Chancellor updating that. Stonewall, a tree on a car. So if you're in Stonewall, and let me stress this again. We've talked about this a lot. Make absolutely sure you don't stay in a home that's got a tree leaning over the room that you're sitting in right now. The wind is out there. It's gusting up, Greg, to 60 to 70 miles an hour.
That's right.
I need to, now that I say that, let me go back over here. We're just going to look at what I'm showing on some of this of our wind gust. Let's look at what's happening here. All equally important when it comes to weather and what's going on. As we pull this up, right here over Meridian, look at that. We got gust in Meridian right now at 54 miles an hour. Let's go down and look at what's happening here in Clark County. Quitman has 50 mile an hour gust at this point. As we get up here to Enterprise, Stonewall area, 51. Stonewall right now. And again, if you don't think that won't snap a tree, it's strong. And this is gust. As we come over here to Beatrice, we're looking at 49. Let's back out and go over to Chunky. We got about 51 as we go to Hickory, 53. Newton, at this point in time, is running about 54 mile an hour gust. Let's back out and go a little bit north of here. Collinsville, 54. Union, right at also 54. It's basically this what we're getting across there, even to Livingston, Alabama at 50. We're going anywhere from 50 to 55 sheer wind gust going through the area. Look at this line. Look at this definitive line here. As you come up from Jackson, Mississippi, look how that's doing. That'll raise the hair on your back as we look at all of this.
What I'm getting is 157 westbound.
Okay. 157.
So back toward between Russell and Meridian, I'd say.
That 157, if I am not mistaken, is going to be the exit to go to Macon, Mississippi.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, it's they have a 157A and a B.
It's going to be right below where the fire was.
Yes, sure is.
Okay.
So we don't know what caused that.
Again, people, we're sorry, but all we got to go on is the information that we're given, and we appreciate your information.
As always, we try to give it as accurately as you can. If there is an adjustment, we do that. With anything live that we do, that's just part of it. You get sometimes part of it, and 10 minutes later, you get some more.
That's right.
But it's most important to get it to you as fast as we can when this stuff starts coming down. All right, we got a power line down at the Kiwani truck stop. We're getting that also. And we don't want that to interfere with the hamburger steak by any means.
Oh,
somebody take my generator quick.
Man, yeah, them home fries.
It's just really, really hard to beat there. Let me see what we've got. Anything new from the National Weather Service that's giving us updates, Greg, of what's happening here. We get back down here to the bottom. The tornado watch is going to continue, they said.
We got a lot going on for this to be an hour out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, again, I'm not trying to scare people or nothing else, but we got a lot going on with fires, power lines down, wrecks, and we're an hour from the main line getting here, hour and a half. So please be careful. And my thing, if you don't have to go somewhere, be still.
You're right. All right, let's go back and check on this. We still have this tornado warning. Let's pull radar back up and see what we've got here, Greg, as we look at this storm here. Now, as you can tell, this is the skinnier end of it, and this is where the heart of where this tornado warning is right now. As we click on this to get more information on this tornado warning, it will go until 5 o'clock. So we got 34 minutes remaining on this tornado warning. And it will be in the area of Bassville, these areas we want you to take cover immediately now. If you're anywhere down in this area of Prentice, Mississippi, Brassville, and this will be approaching Collins in that area here in the next little bit. As we see this crossing right along here, Mississippi 13. Highway 35 down around Bassville, those areas there are major concerns right now with a tornado warning being issued. This is radar indicated. It's not one of those that we've seen on the ground, but we're watching it, and they continue to follow this. All right. The good news is, if I'm reading this right, and let's do this, Greg, I think, yes, they've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued here for Scott County. All of that has died out. The closest thunderstorm warning we've got right now is going to be right here over at McGee, and that's until 5 o'clock, and that's going to be for Eastern Simpson and Lawrence and Jefferson Davis County. So as you look here, the red blinking, anytime you see it on the radar, this red and blinking, that's a tornado warning. As we see here, the gold ones are always thunderstorm warnings. This yellow that you're seeing here is a tornado watch through 7 p.m. tonight. Let's double check, make sure they didn't change it. Still until 7. That's what we've got there. Down here, if you got a thunderstorm warning around Morgan City, Louisiana, also if you're watching from that area. Several thunderstorm warnings right along in here. And again, as we turn the radar back on, look at that. That's where the biggest part of the storm is. Now, look at Philadelphia. Y'all are getting torrential rains at this point there. All of this Highway 16 area. Starting right there. That's going to be where Doc's Toyota is. And you get about 2 miles due west of there, and it's going to pick up a mile and a half away from the casino.
Down at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
It's starting.
Right here on 488 there at the Hope community. It wasn't long ago that somebody attempted to do something to that store and they got arrested. I remember that. They were caught. As we look here, let's look down at Newton County. Now, Hickory, that's pretty good showers there. And if you're traveling north, look at 15 there. That's heavy showers there. Still heavy around Forest. Once you get to Pelahatchie and you get through the city limits there, got it made.
It's kind of slacking off.
We're keeping our fingers crossed that most of this stuff will start to dissipate. We hope that it's not time to call that by any means. We're still hours away on this. Let's see what else we're getting here. All right, the driver is out. Just got a message of the 18-wheeler that wrecked. The driver's out. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Amen.
Yeah, I think the trailer was actually empty also. The person sent me that. If I'm reading all of that right there. So a little blessing there.
So much traffic on I-20, 59, 20, all them highways. I'm just... Slow down, be careful, take your time.
All right, let's see if we got any more messages that have come in. I don't know what that was about.
Starting to rumble out there, isn't it?
Yeah, they're looking at some rotations there. Nothing has happened yet. They're going to what they're talking about Jefferson Davis County, the tornado warning that we were just looking at. Somebody asked the National Weather Service, "Are you going to cancel this?" And they said, "Nope, we're keeping that. It's still showing enough circulation there to keep that warning in effect until 5 o'clock."
Now, when you say circulation, that doesn't necessarily mean on the ground.
Correct.
It could be up in the air and hadn't touched the ground.
Exactly. That's what I mean by that. Let's go back to radar and just where everybody's watching what we see here as this unfolds. Starting to get rain here in Lauderdale County. Look at this out to the west. If you're out Chamberville, that area there, out by the prison, you're getting kind of wet there. And this is going to be right past the Cicalina Fire Department as you take that left and you get out to Freeman Tractor.
Yep.
Keith's getting wet. I hope he's got a cap on. Best I can say there. Up to the four-way stop all around Tyson's area and the Piggly Wiggly, a lot of rain. And even on this south end across Otibby, getting a lot of rain right now. Over here at Meehan, look at that. Well, we got some rain there at the Volunteer Fire Department. And the guys that are going to have to be out with these storms, and they're everywhere right now. All of these guys doing something to assist someone somewhere. There will be a point to where it will be unsafe to be there.
That's right. Just please be patient. I promise you, they want to get out and clear the road and get your power back on, not just as much as you want them to, but we want them to be careful. We want them to go home to their families tonight.
Right. Not a lot happening in Clark County right now. Again, we have no warnings at this point. We just have, right before we went live, behind the scenes, both Greg and I both were taking calls and this, that, and the other of the many. And the fire departments, it was 5, 6 at a time that were getting called out to go to these sparking fires from where trees were hitting lines. And I'm sure that that's still going on. We just hadn't gotten as many text messages about it where people are tied up with that.
Right. Look.
Christy says pouring at the Neshoba County Fairgrounds.
People will wonder why only 5, 6, 8 houses or meters will lose service. A tree or a limb hits a power line, maybe one transformer gets taken out. Well, that's feeding those houses. So it's a long drawn out process.
Nelda telling us there that we got some heavy rain there in Burnside, which is going to be there in the northern portion of Neshoba County, getting a lot of rain there. Still watching this tornado warning here. Here's Laurel, Mississippi, and just to give you a geographical here's where we are, Meridian, Mississippi. Here's Newton. This is going to be due south. You come down to Waynesboro. Go west, there's Laurel, and that's where that tornado warning is right now. It's going to be in effect until 5 o'clock if you're watching us from South Mississippi. That was one of the things that I kept reading about this. Originally, they didn't think this was going to affect the Pine Belt area.
It kept trending south.
Yep, and this is what we've got. They're getting some of the first tornado warnings that have been issued there. We have... let me do this. Let's look and see if we got any hail with this storm here. To the damaging wind, we'll look at that hail. Let's look at the hail and see what we got here.
We're getting some report of power outages in Butler, Mount Sterling.
Oh boy, that we've got. Look at this. It's almost shut off for the time being. Look at the hail they got back in Jackson, Mississippi, and Ridgeland, and all that area back into Vicksburg. It got a lot, but nothing showing up here with hail in our area past Jackson. It cut off there about Pelahatchie right there, and we hadn't gotten any more east of that area. All right, let's go look at our wind of what we're getting with this damaging wind. Oh boy, the darker the green, the heavier the wind is for the area. Y'all look at that. That's a bunch. We're going to get rid of that. That looks to be spam, doesn't it?
I think so.
Whoever Mr. Voyant is got to go do that somewhere else. But again, let's look here at Lauderdale County. Just getting this wind. Look at that. The western side, all over Newton County, back to Scott County. You're getting that wind moving into the Stonewall equipment area. See that across Pachuta? Lewin, back in these areas around Montrose. Hadn't quite made it to Shibuya. We had some wind pass over, but it looks to be more and more that will be moving across this. As we look at Livingston, we're showing a pretty good little shower there around Livingston. Here's Epps, Alabama, and right there on 59, all of this area there, Highway 11, 20, Highway 28, we got a lot of rain at Livingston, Alabama. Y'all be careful. Use caution there. All right, let's go back and turn off the damaging wind. And let's just see if this has changed any. They've still got that. They've brought it over to Vicksburg, and they've expanded this over to Dothan, Alabama, this path of this. So if you're watching us on the east side of Mississippi into the Alabama, West Alabama, this is going to go from Montgomery, Alabama, down to Dothan, down to Crestview, these areas here, down to Saraland and Mobile, Alabama.
All across to Selma.
Yeah, and that's the outlook of that. All right, let's turn that back off where we can see radar. Again, in the state of Mississippi right now, all we've got is that one tornado warning at this point. Not as much occurring. Philadelphia, you've got heavy rain there.
It's knocking on your door, Philadelphia.
Yeah, all the way down. Y'all look at that. From Highway 15 back west, and is making its way over to 19 at this point.
It's moving pretty quick.
Yes.
When we looked just a few seconds ago, it hadn't quite gotten to Neshoba County Fairgrounds, and they look like they're getting quite a bit of rain.
Yes, they are. As you can see here, Carthage, look at this. It's starting to clear up for the Carthage area.
Yeah.
It directly over Lake Teocata right now as we see this in Winston County. If you'll look at that. Now, again, y'all look how narrow that is compared to what we originally, in these past storms that we've had. Now, don't take that as nothing can happen because it's smaller. This is just one of these fast-moving storms, and I'm ready for it to move on.
Amen.
Those slow-moving ones really scare me. They have time to build things, and we just really don't like those at all. Morgan, there's just really no way to answer that question. It's the blink of an eye, something that looks like nothing can turn into something quick. We're watching it the best we can right now. The good news is we have no watch. All we have is a watch for our area. And a tornado warning to the southwest of here. No actual thunderstorm warnings for East Mississippi. Anywhere east of Jackson on I-20 is not under one. We got to go to the southwest corner and northwest of Hattiesburg to find the only one that we have right now, which is a blessing, and we hope that this just kind of fizzes away. Now, this is the worst of the storm. Y'all see this? Right along in there where that tornado warning back down to Macomb is the worst we've got. Again, this is vicious if you're in Neshoba County right now. It's pouring on you bad. As we look at that 424, that was about 10 minutes ago. Let's look at Lauderdale County. Yeah, 427. So it's been about, we had a lightning strike at the Bama state line. This is getting ahead as you come across here. York, Alabama, these areas here starting to see a little bit more lightning. 435 about 2 minutes ago, York, Alabama. It woke somebody up over there, rattled a window.
Oh, yeah. I think they're seeing a few trees down and some power outages, too, over that way.
Speaking of, let's go back, Greg, and pull up. Let's start looking at power outages again. We hadn't looked at that in a minute. I also want to pull this up. And we're going to look at the state coverage of what we've got statewide. That usually tells us a lot of what's going on statewide. Okay, let's pull this up. Here's Mississippi. Right now, we've got about 33,000 out. And if you look at that, that's where that storm is that we're looking on radar right now. 750 in Itala County. Leake County has 780 people without power. 1,600 in Scott. And then about 923 there in Smith County as you get down here. This is about 600 out there. And this is down in this area, right down in here. 1,000 people right in this area. Here's what we're looking at of where that tornado warning is for. We get into Lauderdale, Kipper, about 36, 34 up in Noxubee County. Lauderdale County, we got about 600. And that we've been getting that wind is what's causing that, Greg.
Yeah, the hard line of rain hadn't got here yet. Our storm line is not here yet.
Clark County running at about 237. Okay, we're going to have this up in just a second here of the 18-wheeler accident. We've got our reporters out on the scene, and we'll get this up here. And this is going to be at 157, I think, if I remember right. Let's look at EMEPA. As we go back here, and let's refresh this of what we got with EMEPA. There you go, as we look at this. And again, what we're seeing here across Lauderdale County, 178. That's a good bit there in the Clark County area that is without power. Getting a bunch in that area. Let's see here. I'll have this in just a second here, Greg. I-20.
At the 157, but I believe we were told there were no injuries.
No injuries. That's what is good by that.
Good, but again, what we always concentrate, what we worry about is those secondary wrecks while you're trying to clean up the primary wreck. Traffic gets slow, people want to look, and away we go.
And that looks pretty nasty, doesn't it?
Yeah, that ain't pretty.
Landstar has had them an incident there. Ran off the road and flipped, and it slid a good ways like that. Meridian Fire Department on scene, Meridian Police Department right there. That just went right on off into a field.
That's going to be muddy, muddy, muddy.
We'll see a big record. Y'all expect delays in that area as we get that cleaned up. That's a pretty big one there. And again,
and that's rough weather to work in. I mean, what normally takes somebody 30 minutes is going to take an hour, hour and a half because, lightning popping everywhere. I mean,
yeah.
Our hats off to our tow drivers.
Yeah, they got it tough there. What did we hear about a skid steer up here?
Something about moving cars.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure we hadn't left out something. It looks like we're kind of caught up on all of that. And again, if you've got an area that's got some downed trees, damage to a home, pass it along to us, especially if it's on a highway. And again, they're keeping up with this, Greg, right up until 5 o'clock. They're not changing this. They're going to ride this to the end, this tornado warning here. That is through 5 p.m. That's Carson, Mississippi, 5 p.m. tornado warning there. And you'll see here, at this point, the National Weather Service has not carried this into Alabama yet for a watch. They got it through 7 o'clock here in Mississippi, and the state line is the line where they cut it off. Hopefully, this won't carry over to our friends over in Sumter and all of those areas there in Choctaw County, Alabama. Maybe it'll die down a little bit there. Let's see what else.
Well, it appears to me to be weakening some.
It does.
And I'm not a meteorologist, but and maybe even that line's kind of getting some holes in it.
It is. We're getting reports of a structure fire downtown Meridian, the 8,000 block of Pinewood Drive. We have a structure on fire. And let me see if I can...
I'm not familiar with that one.
Let me see if I can locate that.
That doesn't ring a bell. What did you say, Pinewood Drive?
Pinewood Drive. I'm not familiar with that either. You would be surprised how many roads you've never heard of until you try to find it.
Yes. I usually know avenues and streets, but when we get into drives and places, I get a little lost.
Here we go. Let's pull this up where everybody can see. This is a structure fire. This is going to be Briarwood, just off Highway 39.
Okay.
This is Briarwood Boulevard. This is at the back of Pinewood back in here.
Okay. Close to Oakwood.
Briarwood Boulevard. The 8300 block. So in this area, y'all be careful here. You're going to see fire trucks rolling that way in just a second there. We'll try to get an update from the scene the best we can here in a moment to find out what's going on there. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Possible structure there. Meridian Fire Department en route. I'm getting several people that are on that. That's good news. All right, let's go here. Let me check the National Weather Service again. It's always good to keep up with what they're telling us of new information.
That's one thing about this. The information's steadily coming in from everywhere, and it's steadily changing.
All right, if I'm reading this right, the National Weather Service has just canceled this. Let's read. Yes, they did. They have just canceled this tornado warning. So at this moment, Greg, let's turn off radar. We have severe thunderstorm warnings is all we have now in this area right here. So good news on that. Right now, the Meridian area, and let's just hope we're being blessed that this is going to come through and not be what we thought it was going to be.
Well, it's going to cool off, we hope, and usually when it cools off, it takes some of the punch out of these storms.
And looking at that, there's a lot of punch missing there.
Well, I think I read where it said 49 tonight for the low. Well, it's going to do some changing, and the quicker it drops, the less intense these storms will be. But it just looks to me like it's breaking up and it's getting holes in the line.
Let's do a fast forward here. Yeah, we're seeing that. It's kind of a sort of a separation right along in here to where that storm split. And let's hope that continues to do and doesn't garner back up there. Now let's go back and see if anything new is going to be passed along. Canceled a severe thunderstorm warning there. Nothing new there. I'm not getting major reports across the state of any major damage. That's good too. Let's see if we've gotten any inboxes lately. Nothing new there. Let's go here. I have not turned on this. Let's go back here and look at some locals, and not getting anything yet as we pull up the state. And what I went into the radar and put in was anybody that had put in a local storm damage report.
Right.
And we're not getting that a lot across the state. Let me check back with Clark County and see what we've got going on there.
No, I don't think we're out of the woods yet, but it does seem to be looking better.
Yes, it looks a whole lot better.
Hey, it's fooled us before. That don't mean relax. I ain't saying go outside. I'm just saying, well, you never know. Anytime you're dealing with weather, that's one thing, it changes.
It does. Again, we're monitoring all this, watching all of this. Let me see. Let's go back and look here what we've got going on. And these power crews, y'all keep in mind, it's going to take them a little bit to get to all of this. South of the interstate, we're looking at probably about 300 along in there. Maybe a little bit more than 300 south of I-20. North of there, we're looking about 100 or so in Lauderdale County there. 45. Let's look
30.
Here. Yeah. Let's see what is going on with Mississippi Power. See what they've got. That being the biggest right there. 102 customers there. And that's out by Bonita. And then you get into these areas there, it's one or two with these little green ones. So no major power outages with Mississippi Power. Let's go here and take a look. Here we are. As we look across Forest, we got a good bit going on there. Outages as we look. Now this is big here as we move into this and look at. Let me move this up and show you here. Sebastopol, major power outages, about 1,300 people there around Sebastopol. As we get over closer to Union, we're going to look at probably 415 or so. Wolf Community, around 1,000 people. As you go right here, look at that. Walnut Grove, 400 without power, 500. And so it is Philadelphia. We got about 300 in the area there. If you're watching us from Philadelphia and you don't have any power, that's what's going on there as well. Let me flip to this screen so you can see that just a tad better. That's major power outages all through those areas there. Done a little update there. That gives us a bird's eye view of what's going on there. We're still clocking about the same when it comes to these gusts as we glance at this.
And now remember, the places that have gotten the rain, if you continue to get the wind, those trees are saturated and they're going to start coming down.
Yes.
More. So you may not be out of the woods on having power outages.
Now, let's see what else we've gotten. That's the same thing there. All right, we got a lot of rain. This is Morton, and let me see if I can. I'll be able to do that from my phone to get that up. I think. Yeah, I'll put that in from my phone. I think we can get that to where everybody can see what's going on in Morton. Let's pull radar back up where everybody can see that. Let me go here.
And that rain's headed this way.
Yes.
And has not got here yet.
So we got more and more. All right, let's almost have this, Greg. We got heavy smoke showing from that home that we showed just a moment ago. A lot of smoke showing on that.
Thoughts and prayers are with those people. Hope they're not at home.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen to anybody. We'll have this in just a second here. And again, this is as live as it gets. When you're live, you just have to kind of do some things as you're there. And I hope you're understanding with us and understand we do the best we can with this.
Getting a report of heavy rain on George Butler Road. George Minor Road, I'm sorry.
A little rain there.
Oh, yeah.
Pull that back up there where we can see that. Clark County, I haven't gotten an update here in the last few moments. Let's see what we got.
Somebody asked if Enterprise is in the clear. No, not really. You may be clear for a little while, but we got another band of rain and storms coming.
All right, let me see. What did I do with that? What we're finding out here, we've got flames pouring out of the roof here, out of the attic now. So the house is fully...
It's gone.
Yeah, we've got... It's coming out of the attic. I also got a text about Tumsuba. Soaking wet in the Tumsuba area is what I just got told in that area. So y'all keep this family in mind here. We got flames showing out of the home near Briarwood on Pinewood Drive. Let's go here. Let me refresh this. All right, let's refresh and show here. This is what we were getting from the Morton area.
That's a lot of water in a short period of time.
Yep. That's what that has. As always, we welcome your videos. Get those to us. We'll get those loaded as quickly as we can as they come in tonight to get those on. Fortunately, again, we're not having to do a lot of tornado warnings. We're getting those, all the information as quickly as we can on that. Nothing new there. All right, let's. Where's this from? We had somebody already reporting 2 inches of rain. Okay.
The rain's not over with. In my opinion, I don't even think it's got here yet.
You're right.
The heaviest rain has not reached Lauderdale County yet, according to it. Now, it could change. I mean, it could dissipate. The radar anything can happen. But what my radar is saying is we got some sure enough rain coming.
I agree with that. Let's get this up. We got some damage, some wind damage coming in. And this is going to be on King Road, what I'm putting up, Greg. We'll have this just a second here. This is most likely, looks to be like a lawnmower shed type thing. Let's go here where you can take a look at that.
It's a roof off of something, looks like.
It was listed as a shed. That's thrown up. That could have been a lean-to on the back of a home of some sort. But wind caught that and tossed that. That's on King Road is where that damage is done. Let's see. Nothing else has rolled in on that. Let's go back and make sure we don't have any warnings that have been issued. Now, again, we're being very fortunate here on what's happened. Look at Lauderdale, Kemper, Neshoba. That is looking a whole lot better. The worst that we got to the west is there at Morton. Now, we still got over here in Smith County, severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. We have some wind back down here around Columbia, rolling in at about 58 miles an hour. But again, there's no other than a thunderstorm. There's nothing too serious there.
We kind of like it when there's nothing to talk about. It's bad, but it's good.
That's true.
Anything happens there.
All right, what we're going to do is, as things have calmed down, we're going to take a break. We're going to get caught up with everything that's coming in. We don't want to bore you as at this moment. There's not a lot of activity. We're going to monitor this, and we'll come back live when there becomes another threat. We'll keep you up to date with accidents and anything that's going on. Again, one of the major things that we're watching right now is this house fire over near Briarwood, Pinewood Drive. We're watching that.
18-wheeler cleanup around Jimmy Rogers Parkway.
And then the wreck at Kewanee. To our knowledge, that's the worst that's out there. And Jamie, I understand, dogs get very nervous during these storms. That thunder lightning makes a dog want to go climb under something.
Oh, yeah.
So we're watching this. Again, let's show you another look at radar at this point. We have no warnings in east central Mississippi right now. The closest that we've got is a thunderstorm warning in Smith County, and then thunderstorm warnings. Let's show here. Let's turn radar off where you can see that. Down in this area here, here's Smith County, and you just roll right down in Macomb area of some severe thunderstorm warnings. No tornado warnings at this point. Philadelphia, Neshoba County has now been taken out of the tornado watch. Look at that. That's good news for y'all. So that leaves Newton, Lauderdale, Kemper, and Noxubee, even Winston County out of that now. So it's getting better as it comes across. This is a blessing so far.
Amen.
And so we're behind the scenes watching everything. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be back as this develops when needed.
Be safe. Be careful.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.